Hello, Casey. So, as you know, my proposal is centered around finding ways for the event planners and staff at Florida SuperCon to find more ways to be proactive in health promotion and disease prevention at their event. So, I just started some preliminary research to aid me with that, which would include this phrase right here, statistics for infection rates from mass gatherings. I've been struggling to find like the hard data on how sick people get at mass gathering events and what they get sick from. So I looked into that with the little phrase you see in the search bar right now. I would say that I found a site that has information that relates to that, but that's not the site I'm using right now. Uh, what I actually found is a site that has information for how the staff slash organizers at a certain event reduce the risks for diseases and injuries and stuff of that ilk. It's the second link that pops up: diseases, epidemic threats, and mass gatherings. Focusing dot. That's actually the site's name is the National Center for Biotechnology Information. The name of the article is Reducing the Risk of Public Health Emergencies for the World's Largest Mass Gathering. Various authors, Sun, Kim, He, Methani, Huan. The article focuses on the the Shanghai Expo back in 2010 in China. Uh, in terms of looking towards something to replicate, it's upscaling like extremely high, since the turnout for this was a million compared to Florida SuperCons like last year at 50,000. But it's not what I'm focusing on. Like everything they did, like that included things like surveillance cameras for people who were getting sick, giant medical teams on site. I was more so just gonna look for like generally what they focused on, and to see if any of the principal stuff could be like minimized to apply to Florida SuperCon. Uh, Here, like the focus is that the article covers like what they did at the Shanghai Expo: risk assessment, medical assistance, disease surveillance, vector surveillance, laboratory testing, immunizations, risk communication, health and education interventions, food safety, and water safety. Gonna be paying attention to risk assessment, communication, and education, health and education intervention, food safety, and water safety. Because everything else is kind of really large and kind of crazy. Uh, when it comes to might scratch risk assessment too, but not really, because it gives me like, I guess for that venue, it gives me like an idea of what were the threats, pretty much, which were like the high temperature of the venue, since it was outdoors, uh, and typhoon because it's outdoors, stampeding because it's a massive group of people, eh, infectious disease, obviously, and food poisoning because there were many vendors on site, over 300, and shortages of medical resources and operational risks for the staff. Paying attention to food poisoning because there are vendors at the expo. From what I remember from the map, there's a section of the venue, of the center, that's dedicated to food. But yeah, that's something about. Okay, when it comes down to health education interventions, uh, yeah, health education and health innovation materials. Hundred thousands of those flyers telling you to wash your hands and the like. One would think that people would throw them away as soon as they got them, but I'm going to assume oversaturation in this, overexposure, more like, may have had a good effect, I guess. Food safety is less so of a concern because I haven't found many uh anything regarding like massive food poisoning events at past Florida Supercons. So I'm assuming it's always been in like a sort of focus outside of anything the visitors have to deal with. And the water safety too. Yeah, I assume like water sources, like water fountains, aren't an issue, but that really it won't. That really isn't too hard to solve. Uh, well, from this I learned that like certain thing that like there are measures that are taken at other mass gatherings to prevent injury and sickness and all that. So I'm probably gonna return to my original research goal and look for hard statistics for my next vlog. So see you then.